Hello, it's Kristen from the Together Act, and today I would like to talk about curls. I've been asked a lot about my curly hair and what I use in it and all of that, and I am in no way a hair blogger or a beauty blogger, so I've been hesitant to even come on here and share anything. The tricks that I use, I learned from someone else. I did not create them, but I will share them today. The other reason I haven't made this video is because every time I go to make the video, my hair is kind of crazy and not what I would consider hair I wanted to copy. So today I had time and my hair's dry and pretty curly, and so I thought I'm just going to hop on here and do it. So first things first, my hair has not always been curly. I started to notice a bit of what I guess is called a curl pattern about 3.5 years ago. My hair had been really short and platinum, like you see in some of my older videos. And then as I went to I was changing hairdressers and had let it grow a little bit so there was more to work with. And he noticed a curl pattern. So I now have curly hair. This is new for me. I did not grow up with curly hair. It still dries pretty straight if I ever were to want to do that, but it's way more work and this is really pretty easy. So I rarely dry it straight, but the curls are new for me. So I have not fought curly hair my whole life. So it's kind of novel and fun to have these crazy curls. So on that note, I would like to also share something that seems worth noting just because I believe so strongly in how our thoughts kind of create our reality. About five years ago, I was just in a bad spot. Our family was in a bad spot. We had some stuff going on. So I did a meditation that was designed to help you see your future self. And I found it on a workshop, I think, on a webinar that I was doing, but I believe it's available here on YouTube in some form. So I will try to link it below. Anyway, close your eyes, get still. You follow a beam of light up into outer space. Stay with me. And then you see another beam of light kind of next to you, and somehow safely in your mind, you transfer from the one beam of light to the other. And that beam of light represents 20 years in the future. And then you come back down to earth on that beam of light. Again, stay with me. I'm going to curls. And when you arrive on Earth 20 years in the future, you arrive in the yard or near the doorstep of your future self's home. You go to the door, you knock on the door, your future self opens the door, invites you in, serves you something to drink, and you are meant to notice, who he or she is and what they look like and how they dress and what they offer you and any wisdom that they can offer and that sort of thing. In this visualization, meditation, the woman who I saw open the door, who is myself 20 years in the future, had these soft blonde curls. At the time, consciously, I didn't think I wanted curly hair. That wasn't something that I thought about myself, but when I pictured myself 20 years in the future, I had these soft blonde curls. So the blonde I can take no credit for. That is Zach, my awesome hairdresser, but the curls started to grow out of my head about 18 months after I did that meditation, and it's just sort of been the strangest thing for anyone who knew me without curly hair to now recognize that this just is what happens. So without further ado, I would like to share what I do to it to make it as easy as possible. So I shower at night almost always because the curls get better as they get more dry, and I don't really love to use a diffuser. No matter how I do it, it almost always seems to give a little bit of frizz. So I usually shower at night. So I shower at night, and I'll show you all the products that I use. I'm not a product person. Again, this is not my normal blog or video jam, but I will show you the few products that I use that I have found really helpful. So I shower at night. I use a curl conditioner. It's a Pantene. There's their basic curl conditioner. I do feel like that makes it a little curlier after it dries. May or may not. It's just a nice conditioner. I use just any normal shampoo. And then after I comb it with a really wide tooth comb, which I have here, so I will show you right now, with, of course, some curls on it. Comb it with a wide tooth comb while it's wet, and then I put about a dime-sized drop of apricot seed oil that I buy on Amazon, just in a large bottle, unscented, just plain apricot seed oil, because I read somewhere that that was healthy. It helped keep hair healthy. Put it on my hand, put a dime-sized drop or so in my palm, rub my hands together until it's kind of distributed evenly, and I turn my head over and just kind of squeeze or kind of rub softly the oil into my hair, and then I comb it, kind of just part it and let it be. It's usually almost dry when I go to sleep. I do sleep on a silky pillowcase. It is not pure silk. It is synthetic, but it is satiny. I bought it at Home Goods or somewhere like that for under $10. I find that when I travel and I don't take the pillowcase with me, my hair does tend to be a little bit fuzzier, but sometimes I can't be bothered to pack the pillowcase with me. The other thing that I use after I get out of the shower is one of those turban towels that kind of buttons in the back. Again, I get those at Marshall's or Home Goods, and those are microfiber. And so I have 2 of those that I alternate when one's in the wash. And I do travel with those because those seem to make a huge difference. I know people who use t-shirts. I don't find a t-shirt quite as absorbent as I need it to be, but the idea is that the regular towels, terry cloth towels, the loops can kind of pull at your hair. And I never rub. I just sort of wrap that turban thing around my head and let the water kind of be squeezed out by that while I'm putting lotion on or doing whatever else. And then I comb my hair after that and put the apricot seed oil in. And then I go to sleep, and when I wake up, it's dry. And if you watch to the end of this video, I shot a couple videos of what it looks like first thing in the morning, what it looks like once I do the next few steps, just so you could actually see the process. Again, bear with me because this is not my normal jam. I just wanted to share it because enough people have asked. Then in the morning, when it is completely crazy and wild, I use a squirt bottle, just a 99-cent squirt bottle from Target filled with regular water, and I just squirt it until it is literally dripping wet. And usually I do that with my head upside down in the shower. I'm not in the shower taking a shower, I just do it there so it doesn't get the floor all wet. And I literally just squirt everywhere and kind of separate it as needed to make sure I get in and get all of it wet. And I kind of squeeze as I go to make sure that the water is getting into the curls. And then if I have to, I can comb it, but I make sure it is soaking wet when I comb it because otherwise it does seem to get frizzier. And I try to just keep the part where it was when I'm squirting it with the water and then just kind of squeeze around that. And then I put product in it. And my hair's a little longer now than it has been over the last couple of years, so I'm finding that I'm using a little more product, but it's still never more than about a quarter size in my palm. And I use a fabulous, inexpensive product called Curls, ironically enough. And I will link a couple videos below. A friend of mine named Wendy has the most beautiful curly hair, and I finally asked her once I realized that this curly hair on me wasn't going anywhere. I asked her what to do and how to get curls that looked better, and so she was very patient and very kind. She is actually a hairdresser and gave me some really good tips. I will link the video that she sent me down below so that you can see exactly how I learned. But this Curls, I get at Target. It is, I think, $8. I get it shipped to my house because they don't always carry it in my Target. I'll show you that one right now. It looks like this. It's just a clear gel, no real smell. And I do about a quarter-sized drop in my hand and, again, rub it together and then tip my head over. My hair is literally almost dripping, and I just squeeze the product into my hair. And if I need to kind of move the curls around, again, I've been at work all day, so this isn't really as good as it can look. If I need to move the curls around, I do, and then I just kind of squeeze it, and then I just let it dry. I think the biggest thing that I learned is not to touch it, to just let it dry. This gel is not crunchy, but once it's bone dry, then I put kind of a finisher in it. The one that I like the best is Kevin Murphy's Easy Rider. It comes in a blue box, pale blue box that looks like this, and it is a paste. And so I put just a little bit, maybe a dime size, in my hand. Again, I rub it till it's real warm and kind of melty and coating my hands. It's kind of white. I tip my head over and just squeeze the curls. And I do that after it's dry from the curl gel. And I live in Colorado, so it's pretty dry here, and it dries relatively quickly, but it's still an hour or two, and I just don't touch it until that's done. And then if I need to re-wet it during the day to kind of get the curls to be a little springier, that Kevin Murphy product does really well if I re-wet and just kind of squeeze the water into my hand. Or if I have to, I can just use my spray bottle again, but usually I just put water in my hand at the sink and kind of squeeze it back in. The other thing that I sometimes do, if it feels like I need a little more conditioning, is that I mix in some of the Aveda Be Curly with the curls. I can use this on its own. I don't feel like it gives me quite as tight a curl. I love the way this smells, so sometimes I do mix it in because it's kind of like a leave-in conditioner. It feels more like that on my hair. then I just really don't touch it, and it just kind of dries like this. And of course, like I think with a lot of hair, straight or curly, it always looks better on the days when it doesn't need to look good. If I'm home working from my office at home, hanging out, not seeing clients, not doing anything important, I seem to have perfect ribbon curls. And if I have some event, then I seem to kind of have frizz, and sort of some parts are curlier than others. But in general, these tips that I have learned have helped make my curl more consistent, so that almost all the time it pretty much does the same thing. When I am on the East Coast or somewhere with more humidity, there is definitely a difference in the tightness of the curl, but these products still keep it from being crazy frizzy. And the other thing with regards to when you put any kind of product in it, you really want to use, and this is in the video that I'm going to try to link below, you really want to use your hand kind of like cups, like you literally are just squeezing the curl like you're cupping it and just kind of mushing it back up, scrunching it, if you will. So I feel kind of silly even talking about this because I'm so not really a hair product or, you know, I can't even really braid person. It kind of makes me laugh that this is a video that I'm making, but I have a lot of people ask about it, and I know that the information that I gained from asking really changed the way my curls look on a pretty regular basis. So I wanted to share. I'm trying to think if there's anything else worth noting. I don't think so. I think that's it. I will link the products below, and I will link the video that I first watched about how to handle your hair and to make sure it's really wet and all of that. And if you have any questions, drop them into the comments below, and if I don't know the answer, I will check in with my friend Wendy or my hairdresser Zach. Thanks so much for watching. Good luck with your curls. So here are the things that I use, just so you can actually see the containers. This is Pantene Curl Perfection Conditioner. I do feel like it makes my hair a little bit curlier. I just buy that at Target. Wide tooth comb, you can get these anywhere. I think this one came from Ulta. This is the apricot oil that I put in after my shower when my hair is still wet after I've combed it. And this I get online at Amazon. And this is the Curls Goddess Curl Botanical Jelly that I use in the morning after I squirt it with a spray bottle when it is my hair is really wet, and I just kind of rub about a quarter size of this between my two palms and kind of scrunch it into my hair. Sometimes I mix these two together because this Be Curly by Aveda has a little more of a conditioner feel, and it does seem to combat the frizz. Used alone, I like it. It makes a softer curl, which sometimes is nice, but sometimes it just ends up looking wavy, and when I want it to be more like ringlets, I use this with the curls jelly combined. And then when it's all dry, I use this Kevin Murphy Easy Rider. Just rub maybe a dime size between my hand till my hands, palm and fingers are all coated with like a white cream when this gets warm, and then I squeeze that into my dry hair, and it makes kind of separate piecey ribbony curls. Okay, I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions, just drop them in below. Thanks. Just so you know what I'm dealing with when I first wake up. And this actually isn't even that bad. Then I spray it until it's soaking wet. I just use a $1 squirt bottle from Target full of water. I tip my head over in the bathtub, or I stand in the shower and spray it till it's dripping. And then I use a microfiber towel to squeeze the water out. And I basically have this wet with product in it, scrunch it a little bit, just kind of with my whole hand. Then I end up with kind of this. They're not really crunchy, but they're kind of really separated, and they look a little crunchy. And when it's totally dry, it looks like this. And I squeeze some stuff in it. I use Kevin Murphy Easy Rider cream. Rub it in my hands to get it warm and spread out. And then I tip my head over and just squeeze it through the curls.